What's up, everyone? My name is Alex, and welcome back to another video. I am here with Trader Rec today, and we are going to discuss armor. Okay, this is the basic beginner introductory system to how the armor works. I wasn't aware of this until recently, and I've just been diving deep into it so I can kind of like throw it out to you guys and explain it because I've noticed in some of the comments you guys have been feeling the same. So basically, here is what it is. In the upper right part of your screen, when you first start in a new world, you're going to notice a quest that tells you to craft a primitive outfit. Okay? So when you craft that primitive outfit, you may notice that it also offers you here primitive shoes, primitive hood, primitive gloves. This is a set of 4. Once you equip all 4 of them, you're going to find that you have a set. Now, when it comes to the primitive stuff, it's super basic, super beginner. This here even is level 1. You're all going to be crafting level 1 when you start. This isn't going to be super helpful, but it is going to give you a little bit of armor rating. This is a light system. There are also medium systems and heavy systems, but we'll get to that later. So in the light system, with the level 1s, and the level is significant here, level 1s are going to give you around 8 points each of light armor rating. Level 2 is going to give you 9. You're going to have level 10, 11, 12, up to level 6. All the armor ratings go up from 1 to 6. So you may be asking yourself, like, okay, I get it. So we have a 4-piece set here. What is this going to do for me? I'm going to show you. So what version 1.0 basically did is it created a series of classes that we have to work with now. So within these classes, we have various bonuses that we get just for wearing the actual armor piece. And as you can see here, I hope you can see this, these are right here, the top numbers are basically what your level is. Level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, level 6. You can't craft level 6 until way late game, so don't even worry about it at the start. So each of these are going to give you like sneak effectiveness, all these like cool things, noise reduction, and there's a ton of different classes and different armor. These are all different armor sets. You can combine them, but they're not going to give you what you want, which is that like delicious massive boost that you get from having all 4 of the same item, just like we had of the primitive items. All 4 of them give you a complete set. So we have Commando, Ranger, Raider, Rogue. All different sets. I'm sure like totally overwhelming, but you may notice at the bottom here, recovery items, speed. Let's see, what do we have here? Cash, dukes, and loot. You get an additional 30%. The loot set bonus is pretty significant within this game, so it makes it kind of worth it to get the full set. So how do we get it? How does it work? Okay, off the top, you can find any of those pieces. Like, I mean, you're probably not going to find level 6s, especially at the start, but you can find any of those pieces just randomly littered around the world in various like armor. You can go up to the trader, you can see if the trader has some, you can loot it, maybe they give it as a reward, I'm not entirely sure. Does he have any? Yes. So he has some rogue outfits. They're pretty expensive. It's level 1. I mean, it helps you with your sneaking. The Raider helmet, stun resist. So yeah, like if you have a whole bunch of extra dukes and you want to spend them, maybe that's going to be something for you that's worth doing. But I wouldn't necessarily recommend it.
Get the hell out of my store. It's for real.
This guy is he's just such a terrible, terrible trader. Okay, whatever. Okay, so here are the important details about this. What you're wanting is you're wanting the higher level ones. Also you're going to want to be crafting them because they're way cheaper than spending like 3,000 dukes on like a single item. So your main priority here is the armor reading armored up books. This will increase the quality of crafted armor. In order to make level 6s, you need to have the full 100 set of books. It's going to take you a little while, but that's okay because we're going to just like tier it up slowly over time. So as you can see, primitive armor here, we start out with it. Basics, fine. Light armor. It's going to give you Enforcer, Athletic, Rogue, Preacher, Lumberjack. Obviously, Lumberjack's going to help you when you chop down trees. If you have a full Lumberjack set, it actually increases the amount of wood that you get from it. It increases the damage of when you swing an axe. There's a whole bunch of different like builds that you can do related to that. So, how do we build it? How do we make them? How do we get like a Lumberjack outfit? So obviously we're going to come to our crafting. We're going to look up Lumberjack. Lumberjack, cool. We can't make it because we don't have the levels, right? So we just realize that here. We need to read the armored up. Cool, we're going to get to this in a second. So we need to read the armored up books. Fine. So let's look up Lumberjack. Okay, Lumberjack hat. Okay, once we're at level 11, we found 11 books. We'll be able to craft it. What do we need? We're going to need an armor crafting kit. This is something that's new. So the armor crafting kit is going to need armor parts. Now, these armor parts can be looted. They can't be crafted, but they can be looted. And so you're gonna like find them, from what I've seen, mostly in where like clothes used to be found. So whenever you see like the pile of clothes, I know there aren't clothes in the game currently, but when you see those piles of like dirty clothes on the ground or dressers or things like that, check there because that's where a lot of the armor parts are going. So you're gonna need that. At later levels, you're gonna need like a legendary thing to make like the level sixes, and you have to find them. So if you find anything that says legendary, I think it's legendary armor parts kit or something, legendary crafting kit, do not throw them away. Save them. But that's like for way later, but save them. You can also come to the trader and you can buy them from the trader. I think they're usually around
You're
600
welcome
from
here.
the
Only
trader.
like another
Let's take a
dumbass
look if he
stumbling
has
into my
them
shop.
here. He should. Yes, armor parts. Okay, so there's 600 each. So you can also use that. So you can craft the items.
If you
So
don't like the
that's
food,
basically
you
the
can always
gist. When
go
you
dump
first
the
start in the world and
items.
you're like, what do I do? How do I do this? That's what you do. You basically loot them, and you loot those armored up books until you find yourself 11 books, and then you can craft the light armor set. Let's get to here again. Light armor set. You try to find yourself 11 books. Then you can make yourself some basic kind of things. There's great different builds with these different like items, which we can totally go through in another video. What I would recommend is this: best loot odds by increasing any attribute levels. That is how you increase, because if you increase, you want to find like cooking books, right? You spec into Master Chef, find more cooking magazines and loot. Fine. So this tells us attributes are where it's at. Okay, so that means attribute levels. It's these main big chunky levels that maybe aren't quite as shiny as like Gunslinger, which like directly increases something, but will ultimately be something you need. So think about what you want to be specking into late game and make sure you put those points into that so you're not like wasting a bunch of points, especially earlier in the game, because there are some really, really strong builds that you can create. So just for a starter, pick something that you want to put points into. Another recommendation I would make here is you find more armor and parts in loot by specking into medium armor. So right off the hop, my priority would be putting points into agility and putting points into medium armor. Of course, you have to consider things like Master Chef. You're going to want to consider things like advanced engineering so that you can have a better chance of finding workstation books, which you're going to need. There's a number of different options, but just from the start, really look at putting points into agility and medium armor. That's where we're going to stop for today. This is the basic setup, how you start. So just start trying to collect those items because the bonuses you get from them are pretty significant and I think totally worth it. So thank you guys so much for hanging out. If you are enjoying this, let me know in the comments below and I will make sure to make more specific builds. I have an idea for an agility build that I think is pretty cool. So I will leave you here today. Thank you guys so much for hanging out and I will see you guys in the next one.